Hi, I'm Brad Knowles, producer of Friday Night Flies, hosted by Scott LeBoldus and Scotty Holmes. Enjoy the show.
There you go, Brad.
Well, it's another Friday night. Sorry, folks, for last week. We didn't get the show on the road. It was a bit of a tragic time of the year, or of my life, actually. My great-grandmother, not great-grandmother, but my grandmother, passed away at an old age of 102. Lord bless her soul. And I was pretty honored to MC the festival, or the celebration of her life. But yeah, anytime a person can live over 37,000 days, sign me up. Because I'll tell you,
not a bad life.
yeah, man. When anybody's assigned a day, because that's all you are. You're a number, right? We don't know what that number is, but when that number is over 37,000, hello, sign me up, man.
Good job.
I'd be pretty happy with 37,000 days.
My great grandmother lived to be 103.
Yeah. My grandmother, bless her soul, lived to just past 102. But anyhow, it was pretty cool, man. At 100 years of age here in Canada, you get a letter from the Queen, and I thought that was pretty cool, man.
That's exceptional.
It is super cool. Anyhow, today I want to dedicate my show to my grandmother, my late grandmother. And I've come up with a kind of a cool pattern I've been working with over the last week or so. I've been really wanting to share it with everybody, but last week it just wasn't in the cards with what the events that took place. But anyhow, it's called the Fish Finder Minnow. And of course, it's Fish Finder approved. We'll give it a slow roll here. It's a really simple pattern. It's just craft fur and some dubbing, and I just want to show you guys. I've been working with a few different colors. I did it with a pink body with a green head, and then this one was a little bit different. I used craft fur for the underside. I spun craft fur, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, I added a little hot spot for the gills, and I'm going to do that with this pattern too, because I think it's a little bit of an improvement. It also kind of gives it that like hardware. It almost looks like a jig head, like it's hot, man. It's really hot. I don't know, are we on the bottom and top together still?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys are still being able to look down and see what we're talking about here. I also tied it in a chartreuse, which I really like too.
That's the
it's
one.
kind of it's hot, man. It's hot, and it's when you see these patterns here under a UV light. I'm missing one of my UV lights here too, but
right there.
when you did that make it glow too hard? Like, are you able to see that okay? And like,
or is it making it barely see it? Oh, there you go.
Makes it glow pretty good, hey?
Yeah.
So these are all UV, and the eyes are UV. They're chartreuse. But anyhow, it's a pretty simple tie. I'm gonna get to it right away. One thing I forgot to do was pull out the hook that I was using, which is kind of been buried here. Yeah, what the heck? I think I've got them over here somewhere. Did I do that? Yeah, there. So I've got this crazy selection of super duper old school hooks upstairs in my warehouse, and no, you can't come and dig through them. But I found these old Kirby hooks. They got a big eye on them, which is awesome for doing big heads. So you don't have to worry about your thread slipping by it. But they're offset. So I take my pliers and I just kind of tweak them back to a straight, because if they're not straight, it'll make your fly swim sideways, right? So you got to kind of take those into, and I didn't have any straight-eyed hooks. And you know what? I had all these hooks upstairs already, so why the hell not use what you got? And so you just straighten them up. I mean, back in the day, hooks were made of real steel, so might as well use them.
They rust.
Then they rust, yeah. So make sure you bring a hook file with you. Anyhow, so we got these this little Kirby hook in a size 2, I believe it is. I think no, size 1 Kirby. So we get that in the vise.
Not that big for a. Because it's the gate they're talking about there, and
yeah, the gap in between, and then also the offset is what makes it what it is. So we're going to start off with some green super thread. So we're going to lock that guy down.
Just leave it.
What's going on?
We don't know how to go to the comments, but
Oh, the comments? Oh, they're pretty easy. I know they're probably going off on it because.
I think there's probably 100,000 viewers as of right now.
Well, yeah, it's okay. I'm a hot commodity right now. Everybody wants a piece of it. So, and what we're gonna do here now that I got the thread, we're just gonna tie off a quick dubbing loop. So, try and make these patterns as quick and as easy as you possibly can because I always say I'd much rather spend my time fishing than time flies. Yeah, always. So I used to use like a different spinner, but now I've gone to a dubbing hook, which I find is pretty easy to use too.
Simple, eh?
I'm just gonna be right back here. We'll make sure we got this guy here quick. It's there we go, lock control. That way the boys can. Okay, so there's your chat window, but then you can just go back. So, okay, so where was I? We got the dubbing loop, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie in. You've probably everybody by now has seen this little tray, but we're gonna go. We're gonna go with the blue dubbing, the diamond dub. So I'm gonna take a bit of that. Yeah, just whatever. Put it in your finger, spread it out a little bit. It doesn't need to be too crazy.
Oh, so you're doing blue.
Yeah, we're gonna go with the pattern that I showed everybody. And then kind of lay it out in your hand, nice and pretty like. And you get that hook, spread it open, lay it up in.
Easier about that for sure.
Yeah, well, you'll see here real quick. It's I've been tying quite a few of these because I really like the look of them. And Loon Outdoors, if you guys are out there, man, I think it's time you guys get on board with Friday Night Flies. Help us out. Let's get some product out there. Let's demonstrate because tonight I'm probably not using the right product. I'm using the UV Knot Sense, which is probably pretty similar to the Fly Finish, the UV. Yeah. What I found is that it's quite thick, which makes it super easy, super duper easy for building heads. So you got a nice twist on this. And then what we're going to do is with this beautiful little rotary vise from Griffin is I'm just going to use it quick to spin it up on the head.
That confused the hell out of me. They're going the opposite way.
Yeah.
There you go. Beautiful.
We're going back up. Use this rotary vise to your advantage, ladies and gentlemen. And at that point, we're going to tie it off. And just loop that in there.
Yeah, I got to go. Bye.
You're out of here, Scotty Holmes?
I'm out of here, big guy.
All right, buddy. We'll have a great night.
Yeah.
And we'll touch
Happy
base
Easter
with you.
to all, and yeah.
Hopefully touch base with you here before next Friday.
Okay.
So that's all I got left over on that loop. We'll pull it out and throw it back into my dubbing box here, and off we go. So you want to make sure that you got that dubbing all locked in good and tight, and start building a little bit of a foundation for your craft fur. Now that Scotty's home gone, I can pull all that coyote out of my my little dubbing twister here. So anyhow, you want to, at this point, take your little chunk of Velcro or whatever you're using, a little brush, and pull some of the fibers out of that dubbing loop just to get the body to come together a little bit nicer. So at that point, it's looking pretty sexy. And for you, we're going to actually stock this stuff too because it's become a pretty popular item with myself and other fellow tires on Friday Night Flies. It's called craft fur. Can you see that okay?
Yep.
Craft fur. Super duper cheap, inexpensive imitation fur, and it's got zero float. So when you're doing these minnow patterns, it makes it get down pretty easy. So if you got a nice heavy shank like I'm using in this one, they get down quick. So we're going to take a little pinch of this off, and you can see when you pull it out, it got, just like real fur, it's got a lot of underbody, right? Yeah. So you want to just take that stuff and just pull it out. And since it's not too expensive, throw it away. Because other than that, it's not worth anything. It's, I mean, you could probably dub it, but there's lots on the sheet afterwards if you need to dub it. So I always do the bottom first. Makes it easy. You're going to swap hands. Start it facing forward off the end of the shank. Pinch it up into your fingers just to get the first few wraps. and then kind of work it back to the zone that you're using for the head. And then once you got that, the reason that we tie it this way in is because you're going to fold it back, and that helps bulk up your head. So you'll see here soon when I put that eyeball on there, it gives it a nice platform to tie into. And I've gone a little too far forward, so I'm going to back it off just a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, he's not leaving himself a whole lot of room.
No, I didn't leave myself any room. That's the one thing about it being upside down, is that you got to pay attention to these things. So at that point, what do we got? Yep, I'll go one more wrap forward here, and then you take your craft fur, give it a couple wraps up in front, and then work back up over the body here. And all you're gonna do is just build that up a little bit. Bada bing, bada boom. And at that point, it's not looking like too much other than a big chunk of craft fur on some dubbing. And we're going to fold it over, and then we're going to do the same thing on the top side of the hook. This is where it gets fun. Take another chunk of that craft fur. Get rid of all that under fur. Make sure you got good length. Flip it around. Make sure you got all that under stuff out of there. Lay it up on top. Going around. Pinch it up. Let me get this back up in front of the hook. There we go. Wrap it up.
Hey guys,
Get in the base.
we got the chat system working now, so if you have any questions, send us a message.
So you see what we're doing. You just take that craft fur, fold it back over. Now at this point you want to build your head up a little bit. Give it something to bind onto. You know what? It doesn't hurt to leave a little bit of that white up in the head. You'll find out here in a little bit it actually looks pretty hot with a little bit of that white. Wrap it up. Okay, so you got the main part of the body here and the head. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to whip finish this off. Everything's all spread out here from Mr. Holmes' last show. And all I'm going to do, put a quick whip finish in on the head. You don't have to worry about putting 15 loops or wraps or whatever. Tie it off a couple times quick, because everything in here is going to be wrapped, covered underneath with that UV knot sense. Clip that guy off. Got my scissors over here. And now I'm going to go over to a quick red 6/0 uni thread. And I'm just going to build a little bit of a red gill plate back in the back here, just to complement that green. And it's always that little hot spot kind of spot, which is sexy. So pull this all back. Man, I had my tongue out again there, concentrating. Okay, so you're going to see how this looks. It's going to look really awesome once you get that thing put into place. We'll finish that red off. Zippity zap. Don't come back. Cut that guy off. Now we're getting into the fun stuff. Superfly. Superfly makes these great tape eyes. The size we're using today, I don't know if you read that okay, cameraman?
Oh yeah.
So the tape eyes, size medium, in a chartreuse. And all it is just a sheet of eyes. It's kind of creepy. Once you start getting into the bigger ones, you got a lot of eyes looking at you there. So, take that guy. And all you're going to do is plant that up on the green head. You don't really want to cover the red, because the red is your gills. And you'll see how this thing is going to come together here real quick. So, nice rotary vise. Do the same thing to the other side. Lock her down. Get your eyes in a good place. So it makes a head look like a head instead of just a wrapping of thread. Okay. Almost there, guys. Almost there. So you can already see that's starting to look a whole lot more like a minnow instantaneously with that nice little blue body. And now we take this great product here. We got the second. Where'd that other UV light go? Because I use this. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we got this knot sense. And this stuff goes on pretty thick. So you gotta, I usually just work it to the back side of the fly first. And you want to get it up to the edge of the craft fur. You don't need to go too crazy into it. And then once you got that all done, just, man, these rotary devices make this easy. Hey, kiddo?
Oh, yeah.
You can see how this head is just coming together. Kind of complements your breakfast like bacon does, if you know what I'm saying. Bacon. Bacon on anything complements. Bacon on hamburgers. Dang. I know what I'm doing after work here.
Can I come to your house after?
I think I'm going to go and have a bacon burger. Bacon and double cheese and add extra mayo. Get her nice and greasy. So, since you guys know how I look, extra mayo on that burger, please, sir. Okay, so now at that point, before you hit her with the UV light, you want to make sure that that head has got the shape that you want. So you just take that, your bodkin, fill in underneath the head and behind the eye here. You can see, you'd think I'd tied a million of these things. You see how quick that head came together? Beautiful. And now, instead of just using one UV light, we got two. So you want to cure things quick, you take two UV lights. Now we're cooking with fuel, guys. That's like adding extra slices of bacon right there.
Oh my goodness.
Extra slices. Pour on the lard. Is it getting there? Are you getting that UV light right now?
Oh, yes.
Right in the camera?
Yep.
Sorry guys if I'm blinding
well,
you.
No, not right in the camera.
Okay, but you're seeing it. So you're getting a double whammy. This is how you cure things really quick. And then what you do is turn your vise, tighten her up a little bit, and do the head and the bottom of the head quick.
You can see how that whole fly is UV. Everything.
Oh yeah, it's glowing. These poor fish are in trouble. That's all I can say, ladies and gentlemen. These fish are in trouble. Okay, cured. Bada bing, bada boom. So, all I can say is that if your fish don't like blue, don't tie it in blue. If they like red or orange, put the red or orange in there. You can also tie it in a multitude of colors. And that's the that's the beauty of craft fur in tying minnow patterns. If you want to tie it with a green head, or if you want to tie it with a red head, you can tie it in red. This has got the red underneath with the black over top. That's craft fur getting spun. Let's go up top, and we'll go through the different variations here again. That's the chartreuse.
We're up top.
That's the chartreuse with the green head. I mean, that thing is sexy. Can you see that okay where I'm at?
Nope, move it to your right. There you go.
Right here. That's my left, your right. So, I mean, I've got a whole bunch of different variations of this, and I'm just not seeing them because typically as quick as I time, people come through the door and they're grabbing them. So, we're going to get some good reports here real quick from people that have been using them, because you can't leave flies like this laying around and not expect people to want to use them. You know what I'm saying? Look at that thing. Beautiful.
We had one guy come in today. Oh my goodness, I could have sworn.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And you know what? We encourage people to come in here and say hi. We want to say hi, man. We love talking about fish, and then that's what it's all about. Shake our hands, whatever. If you want to get an autograph on your fly box, man, we'll do that too. Anyhow, it's Friday night, and this fly goes out to my past grandmother. I think this is going to put a lot of fish on docks and boats and whatever else you're standing on. And, you know, get some pictures. Keep them wet. And post the pictures on our Facebook. We interact with our fans daily, and we really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching. Share it with your friends. This is a super, super simple pattern.
Oh, yeah.
And you can mix it up. Put a whole bunch of different colors in there and enjoy it. Anyhow, it's the Fish Finder Minnow signing out. enjoy the rest of the show tonight.